So the T-shirts don't bother me. But why do you take a shot at the Golden Goose, Caitlin Clark? You guys were flying before she arrived on one of those airlines that made you pay for a cup of water. One of those airlines that is the planes are the color of a highlighter.
Just when it seemed like the sports media world was finally ready to recognize greatness, ready to fully embrace the generational force that is Caitlin Clark without filters or footnotes, Colin Cowherd steps in and drops a truth bomb. One that slices clean through the noise, the politeness, and the PR-polished narratives that have been shielding the real story all along.
These players are so damn pissed off that there's one player that has sparked all of this. Attendance, ratings, viewership, gate revenue, all this. Not only that, but they set back. She makes a dig like this after literally just seeing All-Star Game tickets dropped by 50% in value. They literally went from an average walk-in price of $121 to 64 bones. $64 to get in once Caitlin Clark's injury came out that she wasn't going to play.
And by real story, I mean the uncomfortable truth we've all been tiptoeing around for months. The WNBA, the very league that should be rolling out the red carpet for its golden goose, its ratings juggernaut, its once-in-a-generation lifeline, has instead fostered a culture steeped in resentment, envy, and yes, let's stop pretending, a disturbing undercurrent of ethnic bias that's been left to fester in plain sight.
You're in a band and you're staying at the Motel 6 and you add a band member and now you're at the Ritz-Carlton. Keep your issues to yourself. All right? You went from a Motel 6 in a sketchy part of town to a Four Seasons in the shopping district. Stop talking. I don't mind the T-shirts. I think you have leverage. I think you deserve more than 9%. But it's just misstep after misstep. It's time to grow up, girls. Like fast. Like this is the player that got you off the airline that was bright yellow. Right? She got you an upgrade to a better hotel as a band member. So
Colin Cowherd, the veteran voice who's spent decades breaking down games and reading between the lines of sports psychology, finally said what everyone else has been too afraid to even whisper. On a recent episode of The Herd, Cowherd pulled back the curtain and exposed the uncomfortable truth behind the hostility aimed at Iowa's sensation. It's not about basketball. It's about everything but.
Cowherd, he's got the biggest radio show in the country. A guy that wouldn't, he could lose all the bets 2 years ago. He could lose all the bets. Maybe this side of being at gunpoint 2 years ago, this man is not talking about the WNBA, but he has come out and he has talked about the fact that Caitlin Clark is the one that's moving the needle. Caitlin Clark has made him reevaluate the way he takes vacation during the off.
There's obviously a component here, Cowherd stated. And with that single line, he kicked open a door the sports establishment has been trying to keep bolted shut. This wasn't some clickbait soundbite or manufactured outrage. This was a seasoned broadcaster, someone who's built a career decoding the psychology behind the game, finally giving voice to what the numbers, the voting patterns, and the on-court behavior have been screaming for months.
More profitable as women's basketball gets better, as the Caitlin Clark momentum train gets bigger. I mean, this year she's not playing well, she's hurt, she's not there for all the games, so this is actually not as great as it could be. Like Michael Jordan, hurt year 2, next 12 years were legendary. That's what it's going to be. So I think they deserve a big raise, maybe not 50% of revenues, because NBA stars, there's a lot of them, and they move the needle. The WNBA stars, well, there's one.
The evidence. It's overwhelming and damning. When WNBA players cast their votes for All-Star guards, they ranked Caitlin Clark, yes, the very woman who dragged this league out of obscurity and turned it into must-watch TV, as the 9th best guard. 9th. Not 2nd. Not even 3rd. 9th. Behind players who couldn't fill a gym if they handed out free food and Wi-Fi with every ticket.
Crazy. And part of this is their way to like I said, middle finger Caitlin Clark supporters and her fans. And, I mean, sometimes I wonder, are they hoping for the soundbite? I don't get it. But it makes them look absolutely terrible. They thought they were going to come into the league and capture everybody's imagination. And I was a hot shot coming in from college. Watch me. The ratings are about to take off. Asia Wilson walked in, and it wasn't even a bleep on the...
If you're enjoying this, go ahead and subscribe. But seriously, take a moment and let this sink in. The fans, the ones who actually buy the tickets and drive the ratings, voted Caitlin Clark first among all guards, with a record-shattering 1.3 million votes. The media, the supposed objective evaluators, put her third. But her peers, the very women who share locker rooms, buses, and practice courts with her, they decided there were 8 guards more deserving than the player who shattered viewership records, sold out arenas across the country, and literally helped secure private jet travel for the entire league. The pettiness has no bounds, Cowherd remarked. And he's absolutely right. But this goes beyond petty. This is deeper, something far more insidious. When you look at the pattern, targeted fouls, excessive physicality, icy post-game interactions, and now this voting snub, a clear picture starts to form. And it's getting harder and harder to ignore.
Finished 9th in player voting. In fact, she finished behind one of her own teammates in player voting for the All-Star game. The pettiness has no bounds. But it's interesting, for years, the WNBA players were pointing fingers. They were saying people are sexist, the media is sexist, we're not being promoted, we're underappreciated. And then they get the golden goose, and they don't like what it looks like.
Caitlin Clark entered this season with something rare, even unheard of, for a player of her caliber, a spotless injury history. Across 4 years at Iowa, she played in all 139 games. Her rookie WNBA season, a perfect 42-4-42, including the playoffs. Clark wasn't just durable, she was ironclad. The definition of reliability in a sport built to break people down. Then came year 2. Suddenly, the player who had never missed a game due to injury found herself sidelined 10 times. 3 separate injuries, a left quad strain, a left groin issue, and a right groin setback, have transformed basketball's most dependable star into a regular visitor at the trainer's table. From indestructible to injury-prone, Clark's second season has become a painful lesson in just how quickly things can change.
What we was saying, like, y'all don't think, like, all that hacking her and fouling her nonstop, all, like, y'all should have just, like, y'all, like, it wasn't smart for it. Like, y'all have the negotiations now. Like, y'all are negotiating now. Why would y'all want her to be out and it reflecting the numbers? Like, why?
This sudden shift, from Iron Woman to injury report regular, didn't happen in a vacuum. It's unfolding in a league where players have openly admitted they treat Caitlin Clark differently. As one analyst bluntly put it, AJA Wilson isn't getting picked up full court. But Caitlin Clark, she gets that treatment every single night. For 2 straight seasons, Clark has faced relentless full-court pressure, something rarely seen, even for the league's biggest stars. The physicality is on another level. The targeting, so blatant that even legendary UConn coach Gino Auriemma felt compelled to speak up. He didn't mince words, saying Clark is being subjected to contact that goes well beyond normal rookie hazing. I don't remember Magic and Larry getting beat up just because they made the league better, Auriemma remarked, drawing a clear line between how previous generational stars were embraced and how Clark is being punished for the spotlight she brings.
Game is actually fun to watch until you see 3 women, basically box in Caitlin Clark and take a shot. Just boom. What is that about? And then you see the WNBA officials who completely disregard it, just like it didn't happen. Like it didn't happen. I mean, I've seen moves by these women that look like lamb beer on bird, and there's not even a foul called, much less a guy.
But this is where Cowherd's analysis cuts especially deep, because this isn't just about basketball. It's about what Caitlin Clark represents. A young, straight, white woman from Middle America who has suddenly become the face of a league long built and sustained by Black and LGBTQ+ athletes. As one academic study pointed out, Clark has become a kind of proxy, especially for male sportscasters and mainstream media outlets that have historically overlooked the WNBA and its core players. Now that the spotlight is here, many aren't celebrating the league's rise. They are frustrated with who is at the center of it. Cowherd didn't dance around it. He said the quiet part out loud. They wanted private jets. They wanted popularity. They wanted a better CBA, and they are getting all of that. Sold-out arenas, record-breaking ratings. But the uncomfortable truth? Some of them don't think this should be the reason. And social media has taken notice. Fans are documenting the double standards, the missed calls, and the obvious bias against Clark day after day. The receipts are piling up, and the silence from the top only makes it louder.
See a racial component here. The WNBA players, they just don't like what the wave looks like. They wanted to fly private. They wanted to be more popular. They wanted a better deal in the CBA, which they'll get. They wanted sold out arenas. They got it. They don't necessarily think it should be this. But again, you can't fight it. You just never know what